All right, let's practice some more. We see this number 3 as the numerator, 7 as the denominator. 3 as the numerator, 7 as the denominator. So 3, we read normally. So we just write 3. And then how do we read the bottom? Remember, we just learned we don't read it as 7, we read it as 7th. So we write 3 7th. But there's more than one, right? There's 3. So we have to add an S. So we read it as 3 sevenths. 3 sevenths. 3 sevenths. 3 sevenths. Right? So that's how we read this fraction. 3 sevenths. All right, let's try the bottom. We see this number 6 as the numerator. 6 as the numerator. 8 as the denominator. 8 as the denominator. So we're going to write just the top number, the numerator, normally. We're going to write 6. The bottom, we'll write 8th. And then we're going to add an S because it's 6, right? There's 6. It's not 1, so we have to add an S to make it plural. So we're going to write 6 eighths. 6 eighths. 6 eighths. We're going to read this whole number as 6 eighths. 6 eighths. So let's turn our books to page 66. Page 66. Page 66. So let's look at the top. We're going to read together about how to read fractions, exactly what I just taught you. So we see this as 3 parts. So let's read this together. The colored part is 1 out of 3 parts. 1 out of 3 can be written as 1/3. 1/3 is read as 1/3 or 1/3. Right? Because we see this is just 1 part out of 3. So we read it as 1/3. Here we see 4 rectangles and 2 of them are colored in green. So let's read this. The colored parts are 2 out of 4 parts. 2 out of 4 can be written as 2/4. 2/4. 2/4 is read as 2/4 or 2/4. Last but not least, let's take a look at this one, the yellow one or the orange one. We see 5 rectangles, and we see 3 of them colored in. Let's read together. The colored parts are 3 out of 5 parts. 3 out of 5 can be written as 3/5. 3/5 is read as 3/5. Right? So this is called 3/5. Let's look at number 1 and practice together. All right, Here we see a triangle. Let's count out how many triangles are there. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 triangles, right? 8 triangles. So how many are colored in orange? We only see 2, right? So we can write the fraction as 2 on the top, and on the bottom we write 8. So how do we write it in words again? So we're going to write 2, T-W-O, and then we're going to write the 8 as eighths, E-I-G-H-T-H-S, eighths, eighths, right? We have to add the S because there's 2. So we write 2 eighths, 2 eighths. Let's try number 2 together. Number 2. Here we see a circle. It's cut up into many pieces. Let's count how many pieces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pieces in this circle, right? So now we know that is the denominator. We have 8 pieces. Now, how many are colored in? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 are colored in. So we're going to write the top as 3. So, just like the last problem, we're going to write it out in words. So the top number, we see 3. So let's write out 3 in words. T-H-R-E-E. And now we see 8 as the bottom, as the denominator. So we have to write it as E-I-G-H-T-H-S. Read that as eighths. So we read the whole number as 3 eighths. 3 eighths. 3 eighths. So we can read this circle as 3 eighths. So what I want you to do is I want you to try number 3, number 4, and number 5 for homework, and you should do it right now. So try writing it as a fraction, and then you will write it in words. So write it as a fraction, then words. As a fraction, then words for number 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5. You will do that now.